Hello, I'm Kate from the Macrame and I'm going to show you how to make a very easy knotted plant hanger like this one. Super easy, super quick, anyone can do it. You can use any string that you like. I'm using this really beautiful recycled cotton yarn from Bobini. You can get it on our website too, but you can literally use any string at all. So what you need is some string or some yarn, a pair of scissors, some beads if you like, but you don't need to have them, and a tape measure, so not much at all. So you need to first of all cut 4 lengths of yarn, which are 2.8 meters long. Okay, so we've got our 4 long bits of yarn which will each measure 2.8 meters long, and then we've got one other piece of yarn which I've just cut at about 80 centimeters long, but I'll show you what that one's for later. So you want to start off by taking all the long pieces of yarn and folding them all in half together, so that at the top you've got a nice loop like that. So if we just take those pieces at the top and just tie them all together in a knot to hold them secure like that, and that's how you will hang up your plant hanger. So begin by separating your yarn into 4 pairs. So we've got 1 pair over there, 2, 3, 4. And what we're going to do first of all is tie the first knot about 30 centimeters down from the top. So you don't need to be exact, and once you've got the hang of it you can mess around with different lengths just for different looks. So this is about 30 centimeters here. So I'm going to just take that first pair and just tie them in a normal knot. So make a loop, then come back up through the loop like that, and then pull it tight. And then you want to do exactly the same process with the other 3 pairs of yarn. Okay, so we've got 4 knots now, about 30 centimeters. They're not exactly the same distance down, but it'll be fine. So they're all about 30 centimeters from this knot here. So next, what we want to do is start separating the pairs and matching them up with the next pair. So if we take 2 pairs of yarn which are next to each other, like so, and then split those 2 pairs of yarn and take the 2 center pieces, like so, and then we're going to tie a new knot about 15 centimeters below that previous one with the 2 new pairs, and just keep working your way around until all of the yarn is in a new pair and tied in a knot. So we've got 2 sets of knots now. Now I'm going to add some beads to this one because I just think they look really nice. But you don't need to. You can just miss out the next step completely if you like. To add the beads, the hole in the bead will only let 1 strand of each pair through it. But that's fine, it looks completely fine. You might want to get some tape. So this is just some washi tape, but sellotape's fine. So if you find that the yarn, you can't just thread it straight through the bead, if you take a piece of tape and wind it around the very end of the yarn like that, it means that you've got like an end which can go through the bead much more easily. There we go. So thread the bead all the way up to the previous knot, and then I'm going to tie another knot in the same pair just to hold the bead in place just below that bead. So there we go. So now whereas we could have just had a knot here, we've actually got bead knot instead. But like I say, you don't need to add the beads on if you don't want to. So I'm just going to repeat that process for each of the 4 pairs. Okay, so now we want to repeat the process of splitting the pairs of yarn up and forming new pairs with the ones which are next to them. So if you take a couple of the beaded pairs of yarn, the ones that are next to each other, take the 2 center pieces, and we're going to form a new pair by tying those in a knot, and the knot needs to be about 10 centimeters below the bottom of the previous knot. There we go. and then just keep on working your way around, again making knots 10 centimeters below the previous ones with the pairs next to each other, forming new pairs. Okay, so now we've got the knot at the top, the first set, we split them up to make the second set, and then we split them again to make the third set. So the final step for us to do is to join them all together at the bottom. Now, I think the nicest way to do this is with a knot called a gathering knot. So this is where you'll need the other piece of yarn that you cut, which is about 80 centimeters long. So the gathering knot is going to be about 6 centimeters below the bottom of the previous sets of knots that you made. So I'm going to take this yarn, the extra piece of yarn, and lay it on top of the all the gathered up pieces of yarn from the hanger, and then I'm going to turn it up into a U shape like this, and then at the top of that U we're going to start winding it around all of the yarn, so it goes around the new piece of yarn and also all of the other strands of yarn which are in the bottom of the plant hanger. So keep going round like maybe 6 or 7 times, and then when you've done as many rounds as you'd like, you put that end piece of yarn through the loop, through that bottom of the U shape that you made, and then you want to pull both short ends of the yarn. So I'm going to pull on the top piece first, and as you pull on the top piece you'll notice the knot hiding and sliding behind all of those coils of the yarn that were winding around. So keep pulling, and you want to pull really tight to make sure that the knot is hidden behind there and that everything is pulled really nice and tight. There we go. And once it's tight, you can just snip the 2 ends off and you're done. Ready? So, oh, and then at the bottom, I think it's quite nice having nice long tails, so you can just cut them. Ta-da! So cute. So easy. There. So all of the supplies for this are available on our website, or you can probably just use bits and bobs that you've got at home. So just some string, tape measure and a pair of scissors. Good luck, happy making, bye bye.